myself, your botany mentor, Dr. Mukesh Kumar. Most welcome in your dream classroom, Motus Botanica. Today, we are going to study morphology of flowering plants, especially roots, at the rate of NCERT. That is given only in NCERT. Just memorize them, just know the terminology and all the theme in a very nutshell, right? So that you can learn the example as well as the types of the roots. You know, we have only 7 types of roots and we have only 8 examples in NCERT for root. We will just remember these all things. Okay, so let's start today. Root at the rate of NCERT, right? Yes, so this is the nutshell of your root at the rate of NCERT. So I have given the heading Honey of Botany, HOB. Yes, Honey of Botany for root at the rate of your DM sir. Okay, where you will get the NCERT. As I told you, we have, yes, see, we have total 7 roots. Okay, and 8 examples in modification and 5 examples in types of roots. So total only 12 examples we have to learn from NCERT and especially in root. Fine. So I will summarize this very important NCERT summary of root at last. But first we should see the NCERT, right? Yes. So NCERT starts, okay, it's a morphology from this very important information that this morphology means to say you have to study large diversity in external structure. And remember, this morphology is of only flowering plant, angiosperms, as we studied earlier. So, these flowering plants are being characterized by presence of root 1, second stem, third leaf, fourth flower and fifth fruits. So mind well, we have to characterize these flowering plants by the presence of root, stem, leaf, flower and fruits. So these are 5 important organs, right? Now, apart of that, we have to also know that characteristics, features, isn't it? So how these organs, since these are, see, if we are talking about the root, stem and leaf, so these are the vegetative part, and we all know that the vegetative parts are the, yes, these are the non-conservative part. Non-conservative part means to say they will execute modification. That's why we have to modification. That's why we have to also study about modification of root, stem as well as leaf, isn't it? But these very 2 parts, yes, I'm talking about flowers as well as fruits. These are the non-conservative part, non-conservative parts. So there is no modification here. So there is no modification, right? Now, so we have to also study about the modification of fruit here. So it's written here that classification of plants, okay, when we are going to classify, it is based on the morphological and other characteristics. So morphology play a vital role in classification of plants, right? Now, for any successful attempt at classification and at understanding any higher plants, okay, we need to know about possible variations also. Yes, what are the possible variations? And this variation will come with adaptation of the plants, right? And this will occurs against the adverse or changing the environment. And these adaptation of the various habitat for protection or climbing or storage, so these are the important factors by which the root, stem or leaf undergoes what? Modification. So in this morphology we have to study root, stem, leaf, where it will undergo the modification, and the plant will also be a flower and fruits, isn't it? Now talk about the root system. These are the underground part, but above the ground we have, this above the ground part is called root system, isn't it? So these flowering plants will also have what? Root system, and it will comprises only root. Okay, another we have root system, and this root system will be a stem, leaf. Okay, for the leaf matured, flower comes, and after flower, okay, there will be fertilization and there will be formation of fruits. Okay, so these are the, you can say these are the root system. Okay, so you can say your 1 by 4. No, 4 part is of your root system, 1 part is of your root system. So this is all summary of this page in NCERT. Now come about root. Root is the direct elongation of radicle that lead the formation of primary root. As we studied that this is the root, you are going to germinate your seeds here, and this is your radicle, and this radicle will elongate, and this elongation is the primary root. Okay, so this will be a root. So in dicot, majority of dicot, direct elongation of radicle lead formation of primary root, which grow inside the soil, bears lateral roots of the several order and called secondary, tertiary, etc. roots. What it means? Means to say radicle is there, it is bearing primary, the primary root will undergo branching and it will form secondary roots. Secondary will go for branching, it will form tertiary root. Might be possible ultimate branches will be there, it is called rootlets. That's why it is written, okay, etc. means to say further branching may be possible here, right? Tertiary, quaternary, like that. Okay, so what we are finding, that radicle means to say the main root and they are branching. So all these branches are called lateral branch. So primary root plus lateral branch, and it will constitute tap root system. We already studied in our previous lectures. If you have not seen, go through the lecture, that is tap root. Now, so see, so primary root and its branches constitute tap root system, which is very common in mustard. Okay, so we have one example here, mustard in tap root, isn't it? And it indicates that we are talking about dicot. No, now in monocot, okay, primary root is short-lived and replaced by large number of roots. These roots originate from the base of the stem and constitute fibrous root. Remember, I taught you in previous class that if we have this very structure, these are the primary root, okay, and these are the root system, but by the means these are not surviving for the long time, these are the short-lived. That's why it will be replaced, okay, it will die, it will vanish, and finally there will be new, okay, roots will come. These are the very fibrous structure and arising from the this is the base of a stem, and it is bearing this very fibrous structure, okay, very thin structure, a number of structure, and these are the fibrous root. Okay, they have also lateral branches, so it will form fibrous root system. And this is characteristic feature of, yes, monocots, didn't it? Now come. So, yeah, in some plants like grass, monstera and banyan, right? So we have now three example. Again, I am quoting you: grass, monstera, okay, and these both are of monocot, right? Another example we have is banyan tree, and this banyan tree is of dicot. So we have two monocots, okay, and one dicot. Three example, and these are the non-radical part, okay, and this non-radical part root is called adventitious root, isn't it? Now come, according to the NCERT language, what it states. Now see, in some plants like grass and monstera, it's monocot. Another one we have is the banyan tree, dicot. Roots arise from the part of the plant other than radical. That's why it told you non-radical, and it's called adventitious root. So first we have, yes, we can summarize this thing. First we have taproot arising from radical. Second we have, yes, fibrous root system, especially in the case of monocots. It is especially in the case of majority of dicots. And we have also third types. Yes, this is the adventitious type. It is also non-radical. Example may be monocot, as we have the grass and monstera, or dicot, that is the banyan. So total by this whole, how many examples we have? Yes, you remember taproot system in dicot. Example in NCERT we have is mustard. Second, fibrous root system, it is especially in dicots. Example, any example of monocot you can get, okay, but more common example you can quote here right now, that is your grass is there, no, but NCERT has not given any example, okay, in fibrous root, but one, I think wheat is given, yeah, wheat. So we can quote here, this is the example of wheat, monocot. Now second, done. So first this one, second fibrous, and third we have the adventitious root system. It may be of the dicot plant or may found in the monocots. Example, three examples we have given. Yes, grass we have given, right? Monstera we have given. I am writing repeatedly so that you must learn banyan tree, isn't it? So how many examples we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So total 5 examples we have for types of roots, okay, types of roots. Remember what I told you, these 5 examples we learned. Yes, one is the mustard from taproot system, second one is the wheat from fibrous root system, grass, monstera and banyan, this is from the adventitious root system, isn't it? Now see, the next paragraph is stated about its function of the root. You see the beautiful diagram we studied how this is the flowering plants, and a flowering plant is characterized by, yes, underground part, that is the root system, okay, this is the primary root, their branches will be there, secondary, tertiary root, they will form their lateral branches. And see, above the ground we have the root system, it will be a stem, on the stem there will be leaf, and further flowers and fruits will be there. This stem is being characterized by the presence of their nodes, as well as distance between two nodes is called internodes. So this is a very good example of mustard. This is a mustard plant. What we have studied, yes, see, this is mustard, what we talk in taproot system. So this is a very good example diagram given in our NCERT, right? So we have just concluded 3 examples and 3 types of the root, and see what we concluded here. We have concluded here 3 types of root. Yes, see, this is the 3 types of root, and total we have is the 5 examples. Okay, so learn this very easy. Now, come. Reason of, yeah, we're talking about the function of root. See, this is the function of root. So main function of root system is absorption of water, okay, from soil, okay, providing the anchorage to the plant's part, first function. Second, anchorage. Third, storing reserve food material. And final, synthesis of, yes, growth regulator. So how many functions we have? Absorption of water and minerals, first one. Just got it? First one. Second one is, yes, it will provide anchorage. Third one, for the storage. And fourth one is synthesis of hormones. That is the auxin at the tip. Fine, root tip. So tip. Now come. Just know about the reason of the root. Yes, this is very interesting that this is the structure of root showing different regions. So at the region of this Rama, remember Rama means to say region of mesmatic activity. It has very soft and delicate tip which is being protected by a special structure that is called root cap. Yes, see, the root is covered at apex, that is the root tip or root apex, by thimble-like structure, that is cap-like structure called root cap. See, this is an example. Now, it protects the tender apex of the root, tender, very soft, delicate, as it makes its way through the soil. So it will provide the way, the path to grow inside the soil, okay, so that it can anchor and provide mechanical support as well as provide water and minerals. So this is the reason of meristematic activity. Okay, so a few millimeter above the root cap. If it is the root cap, this is the reason of root cap. So few millimeter above, up, right? What we have, the reasons where we will find a small, very small, thin walled and dense cytoplasmic cells that will show repeated cell division. Okay, and this is called Rama. That is the reason of mesmatic activity. Yes, these cells are very small. As a result, it will divide, as I told you, like this: 1 to 3, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. In this way, it will divide. And what happens? Just know, this is the mesmatic cell, one cell. Now, again, it will divide. It will remain mesmatic. It will permanent. Remain mesmatic, all permanent. Remain mesmatic, all permanent. So, in this way, in each step, 1, 2, 3, single number of cell will increase. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the number of cells. So question will come, if you have to form 4 mesmatic cells, how many cell division is required? Yes, 3 cell division is required. If you have executed 2 cell division, how many cells will form? Yes, 3 mesmatic cells will form at the Rama. That is the reason of mesmatic activity. So this is the mechanism of cell division. Now see, another we have the cells proximal to its region undergo a rapid elongation and enlargement responsible for the growth of the root in length. Means to say, we have this very structure, region of elongation, and it is responsible to increase the length of the root. Okay, if you are talking about its position, so the root is going to arise from this very part. So this is the part of origin, and this origin part is termed as proximal part. Proximal part, and this is the free end. This end is the free end. So this free end is supposed to be the distal part. Okay. Now, so we have this distal part, we have this origin, that is the proximal part. So this is, if you are taking its position with reference to origin, so you have to say proximal. So what we are finding, this lie at the distal end, and this region, that is region of elongation, is proximal to Rama because it is near to origin. So it is proximal to, yes, this is the Rama, right? Now, this region is called elongation. Fine. The cells of elongation zone gradually differentiate and matures. Hence, the zone proximal to region of elongation. Again, proximal position is there. So this proximal means to say near the origin. Again, we have maturation region. So maturation is proximal to elongation. Elongation is proximal to rama, and rama lie at the distal end. You can also say that maturation lie at the proximal end. Fine. Now, so you can get the reference of their proximal and the distal position. So from this region, some of the epidermal cells form very fine and delicate thread-like structures called root hairs that absorbs water and minerals. What it indicates? It states that we have zone of maturation. That zone of maturation will bear this very structure, which is unicellular structure. Okay, it is unicellular, and while root cap is the multicellular structure. Okay, so don't confuse. It is a multicellular structure made up of electrogen tissues in general and found at the rama. But root hairs, yes, this root hairs found at the meristematic zone. It is unicellular and helps in the absorption of water and minerals. Okay, so this is all about the region of root. Now we'll talk about modification of roots. So modification means to say adaptation for the changing environment or its habitat, surroundings. See, so first modification in root. Roots in some plants change their shape and structure and become modified to perform function other than absorption and conduction of water, and this is the definition of modification. Question will come, what do you mean by modification? You can define this very language according to NCERT also. Right? So they are modified for support, that is a mechanical support, but it is not applicable for the taproot. Remember, I told you that storage of food. Yes, there is a food storage, especially food storage occurs in the underground part. So it is applicable for both taproot as well as the adventitious root. Then respiration, again respiration is a special function. Now taproot of carrot, turnip, adventitious root of sweet potato get swollen and stored food. So what they summarize? See, they summarize about the carrot and about the turnip. And these two structure is of taproot. Second, the example we have sweet potato. Okay, the diagram is not given here. Sweet potato diagram is not given here. I will write here sweet potato. Okay, sweet potato. I remember I detailed previous. So what happened? This is the adventitious root. Okay, these are the taproot. Okay, and both modifies due to food storage. Due to they were finding how it is swollen due to the food storage, getting the particular shape, conical shape it is. That's why the name of the root is conical root. See, this is the top shape structure. It is swollen at the tip and abruptly it tapers at the bottom. So that's why it is called napiform. Okay, so this structure is called napiform root. This structure is called conical root. Conical. Yeah, very good. Sweet potato is given here, right now. So this is the adventitious root. So this adventitious is also tuberous. It is irregular structure. But how it is taproot adventitious root? Because you will find this is the stem and they arise from the node of the stem. Since they arise from node of the stem, that's why it is what? It is adventitious, not radical. Okay, not taproot. So three example, and these three example states due to the food storage. Now further, Can you give some more such examples? Yes, we have taken in our previous slides. You see, so many examples we studied in root, taproot as well as adventitious root, right? Fusiform, remember. Tuberous again in taproot we studied. In Mirabilis jalapa, 4 o'clock plant. So there are so many examples. I have taken this. So you can say this is also part of your NCERT. Other example you must know. Have you ever wondered what those hanging structure and that support a banyan tree? This is a banyan tree. See how this structure is hanging, and this hanging part is the prop root. They act like the pillar and provide a mechanical support to this very enormous structure. So this provides mechanical support in banyan tree, and as you know, Ficus vengalensis. Vengalensis, this is the scientific name of banyan tree, right? Now, so this is called prop root. Similarly, stem of maize and sugar cane support roots coming out of the lower node of the stem. Remember, we studied, if you talk about this very structure, see this is the structure, these are the lower node, and this very lower node you will find the such types of the root will arise from the lower node attached to the soil, and what happen, they provide mechanical support. Okay, so this very structure is called as stilt root. So it is very common is monocot, this is maize as well as sugar cane. Isn't it? So the NCERT is talking about this thing. Now, so these are called stilt root, also called as grass root. In some plants like Rhizophora growing in swampy area, this is the mangrove vegetation, saline condition is there. Many roots comes out of the ground and grow vertically upwards and called respiratory root. Helps to get oxygen for respiration. See what happened by finding this various structure. These structures are called nematophores. Right now, and then nematophores have small pores. These are called aerating pore. Nematothores. Thores means porous structure, and this very porous structure helps in the exchange of oxygen gases, and that's why it helps in the respiration. Isn't it? What we are finding? They are arousing up. So this is not positive zeotropic, rather it is the negative zeotropic. This is again exceptional example for any other roots. So these are the nematophores having nematophore that will help in the absorption, that will help in the exchange of gases. Isn't it? Now, so this is all about this very example. Now we have finished the NCERT modification of root. Now just analyze yourself this very important quiz. Can you guess what the P states? Which types of the root it is? Now it's your turn. Just write its answer in the comment section. I would wait for your good answers, right? It may be awarded. Now Q, you have to identify which types of the root, and you will also tell the example of the root. So you have to P, you have to state nature of root, type of root, and their name A, B, C, D. What is the name of such types of the root? Similarly, C, this R, you have to state what is the nature of the root, either taproot, adventitious root, fibrous root, and you have to also found out their specific name, what is the name of this very structure. Now, Barrett scanner that will analyze your good analysis power, and this is 2 questions for you. Just answer, write down in the comment section, right? So that's all. Thank you very much. Be a great doctor to serve humanity. Yes, I am with your botany mentor, Dr. Mukesh Kumar. So today we have finished this root. Next class we'll start a stem, and this series of morphology will be continued. So like, subscribe and give your good comments as well as suggestions so that we can more improve for you. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Have a nice day.